Hi everyone, welcome back to Kanika's Corner. It's been close to 6 months since I put out the last video, and I think that's purely because of how active Ducky has become and how much more involvement I now have in all of her activities, which sort of just eclipses everything else. So, my day starts with Ducky, my day continues with Ducky, and it ends with Ducky. And here I thought, with her reaching the age of 1.5, that I would actually be doing something else, something more than Ducky. And I find that I'm only doing things related to Ducky, including the fact that even putting together video clips to give an update on her life has taken me this long. So here we are with an update on what has been happening in our lives from month 13 to month 18 of Ducky's life. One of the most exciting aspects of, moving from infancy to toddlerhood is walking. And Ducky started walking 8 days after her first birthday. She moved from faltering steps to, taking off on her own. She had been walking previously with support for a month before her birthday, but she, just suddenly took off on her own. And within a week, she had become so much more confident. And 4 months later, she is now running confidently. So, that shift is so quick. That first week of, being on the edge all the time of, oh my God, she's going to fall, she'll hurt herself. All of those tensions just go away so quickly because they move from trying to walk to wanting to jump, to wanting to climb over everything, to treating everything as an obstacle to cross. So, your tensions change very rapidly, and you just learn to be cool about it and not get worried at all, and just enjoy their antics and, enjoy their explorations and everything new that they're doing. So when I follow Ducky through her day, I don't have to worry about counting steps. I think there's an easy 10,000 that I do, and she must be doing 20,000, at least double of what I'm doing. So if you want to exercise and you have a toddler in the house, just follow them. You'll get your cardio, you'll get aerobics, you'll get flexibility, you'll get running, you'll get everything that you need. Just follow your baby around every step of the way. I can't explain how much fun the last few months have been. To me, when Ducky started becoming interactive about the age of 6 months, I thought, hey, wow, there is so much to do and so much joy that she's bringing to our lives. It is 10 times more now. The kind of mischief that she does, the way that she's talking to each of us, the sort of connection she's making between what she sees, what she hears, what she does. Oh, incredible, All that I'd studied in human development, I'm seeing happening right here. And total joy, totally worth me just taking time off from work and just being here with her every day. And I've got to say, I don't regret being a stay-at-home mom at all. I'm loving this phase. And these children grow up so fast that before I know it, she's going to say, nah, no mama, I don't need you here. So let me enjoy this phase. We went on our first intercity holiday. That was, I think, the highlight of October 2022. We went to Mysore with my parents, and we went by train. So, first for Ducky. And I think more than the scenery that we had in the train, it was the fact that there were so many people to chat with. To go up to say hi, to smile, to try and get their attention. Oh, that was, I think, the most exciting thing for her on the train journey. And thankfully it was on the Shatabdi, so just 2 hours, and that was long enough for her to be engaged and not get bored. Now in Mysore, this was the first time she was not sleeping in a room that she knew. She settled in quite well, and she loved the outdoors and the space. And her favorite, which is Bobo, dogs, there were 2 of them there. And they terrified her so much that all she wanted to do was watch them from a distance. And this was her first encounter with, real life dogs, and not just dogs in books or, seeing dogs walking on the street. So for her, it was like, oh, wow, this is what a Bobo is. And the Bobo, when it barks, is so loud and so scary that, no, I will watch the Bobo from far away, right? So this is her first experience. And I think that was the main thing that happened in our Mysore trip. Now, The following month in November, we had our first international trip. Ducky flew in a plane all the way to Dubai, and this was to, say hi to the team that had helped create her. And for me, it was to go back and say thank you for the beautiful gift that they had given us. Thankfully, on that plane journey, she slept through most of it, because I was imagining a scenario where she wanted to walk up and down the aisle greeting people and saying hi, because a month later she was that much more interactive, and I couldn't imagine running behind her and saying, no, it's okay, come back. A plane, the confines are that much more restrained. But thankfully, she just slept through most of it, woke up the other end, was very excited to be going by taxi and car and seeing all of these new things, and actually adjusted very well to staying in new houses, new rooms, eating whatever food was being given to her, meeting so many people and playing with them, and with my cousins, with my friends, and she had a blast in Dubai. And because she had fun, I think both my mom and me, who also went along, we had an enjoyable time as well. Dubai was an eye-opener for all of us. There were so many parks and so much of exposure that Ducky got that she hadn't gotten previously in Bangalore. The children's parks there had play equipment for her size and, safe enough for her exploration. And it was like she suddenly grew up in those 2 weeks that we were there. Both the families that we stayed at, one with my cousin and one with my aunt and uncle, both of them, had dogs in their houses, and Ducky was initially a little wary of them, not sure what to do with them, because here there is a dog in even closer personal space than the dogs in Mysore. So she was wondering, what should I do? And she sort of just stuck by us for the first day, and then the second day was, okay, let's go closer. And the first dog that we were with was Tai, and Tai was a sweetheart, so he allowed her to pet in whichever way she wanted. She wanted to first try and see, if I pull his ear, what happens? And then the tail is wagging all the time, so she kept going after his tail, and this sweet little chap would just sit there and allow her to pet him. And he would, of course, occasionally say, hey, I'm not enjoying it. So he would go off in some other corner. And here this little Ducky would go chasing after him, because within 3 days of, first meeting Tai, she grew so fond of him that she wanted to be with him all the time. And if he was going on a walk, well, there she was. She also wanted to wear her shoes and go on a walk with him, just so that she could be as close to him as possible. And in the other house that we stayed at, 2 dogs, so bonanza for Ducky, Coco and Chanel. Chanel was, is an older Labrador and would just calmly sit through everything that Ducky put her through. And Ducky put her through a lot of petting and a lot of cuddling and all of that. Coco, sort of the first day withstood all of Ducky's antics, and the second day onwards, when she heard Ducky coming into the room, Coco went out of the room the other way, like, hey, I don't want this little person near me. No, adults are okay. This little thing will come and pull me and pet me and want to cuddle me and hold me and squash me and all. No, I'm not okay with it. And she would go running the other way, and Ducky would come in looking for her this way, and then she found she's out that way, Ducky there, Coco here. So, the whole day would go off with just these two missing each other, and Chanel would calmly sit through it all. And once Ducky would sort of say, okay, enough, I can't get Coco, she would go back to Chanel and sit on her and do everything else with her. So huge highlight of the Dubai trip was these 3 dogs. Lots of firsts for Ducky in Dubai, from visiting a beach to playing in the sand to feeling the cool Arabian Sea waters, to living in air-conditioned spaces. That's not something we have here in Bangalore. To also adjusting to new households, eating whatever was made there. And she loved every meal that she had in all the houses that we went to. She also learned how to go to restaurants and eat, in the high chair that was provided there. We would just carry her bib and she would eat whatever we ordered off the menu. I was apprehensive about how the holiday would go on, but the ease with which both my cousin and my aunt and uncle, they integrated us into their lives, and made it seem like, hey, having a toddler around is not that difficult, and the love that they showered on us and the enjoyment that Ducky had through everything that we did just made it seem like a holiday. And that was something that I just did not expect, that my mom and me would equally have fun there. So much has happened in 6 months that the one video that I had planned for is going to be coming up in 2 parts, so do watch the other part of this.